You know those games where they don't really have anything to do with the license they're about? It's pretty clear that another game was being made, and then late in development someone goes, "Oh, we've got this license." So they switch out the characters and call it a day? That's City Adventure Touch, and it's the most infamous example of this in Japan. Touch started as a comic about twin baseball stars Tatsuya and Kazuya. They're both competing for the affections of their childhood friend Minami. And it's a combination sports romance story. I'll be honest, I'm totally unfamiliar with this one, but apparently it was a monster hit. The game's release was timed to coincide with the airing of the final episode of a television adaptation. Touch is our second game from Compile, and they're still in their developer for hire mode. We won't see what they're really capable of for a little while yet. In the game, the twins and Minami are tasked to go rescue the 10 puppies of this dog monster. As a reminder, this is based on a television show about a romantic triangle between baseball players. You have to travel the city streets, beating up toys the whole way, locating the hidden dungeons and bosses. You'll also have to collect the right items to use in the right spots in order to make paths open, and you'll also have to collect items to use as weapons against the bosses. This is arguably the first belt-scrolling beat-em-up on the Famicom, in the sense that you can wander around freely in those horizontally scrolling stages, and you can punch enemies to defeat them. You typically won't want to punch, you'll throw baseballs instead. The one nod that this is based on a story about baseball players. Still, all the features of the genre are there, and it beat Kunio to this system by a month. You actually control both brothers at once, and Minami just always stays in between them. The B button attacks, and if you hold down the A button you can switch what item you're using. You have to hold A and press left and right to change it though. You have limited inventory spots, and there are a lot of red herring items. If you need to drop something, you have to enter one of these rooms where the dog guy says nothing, and then press A and B at the same time to drop your selected item. The only thing that works as a weapon in the side-scrolling areas is the baseball, which you throw. If it's not selected, then you just punch. You press select to switch between which brother you're controlling. But the other brother always moves and attacks with you. These numbers at the top of the screen serve a dual purpose. They're your health, and they're your money. They're tracked independently for both brothers, and the one that you're not actively controlling can still get hurt and make money, or health. Honestly, it's a really bad system that does not work. What I wound up doing was switching between the brothers, and when I found some especially juicy enemies, I just ground for some cash and health for a little while. There's no invincibility frames for when you get hurt, but I still found it to be pretty simple to just rack up some health. Minami can get hit as well, but as a woman, all she can do is sit on the ground and cry. That's actually everything she does in this game. I guess that's better than having her be kidnapped and being the prize at the end of the game, but not by that much. Setting that aside, the big problem with Touch is that it's big. Really big. It's a vast world consisting of thousands of screens and dozens of these interlocked little stages. And the way that they connect is non-Euclidean. You can go forward or back, walk over a little bit, and then return in the direction from where you came, and where you wind up won't be part of the road that you initially left. Along with that vast size, there's hundreds of enterable locations, and only a very small handful of those are relevant. You do get hints from the dog guy, but they're infamous for not being very helpful. One of the better known ones is that he tells you that fire is the only thing that can hurt the tree boss, and then you can buy a lighter, an oil lamp, or matches. and matches are the only thing that works. The game does offer passwords that you can continue where you left off, but there's a problem with the password system. There isn't really a good check on players being able to put in whatever they want. And that resulted in kids passing around a password that got a bit of attention. In essence, it was, "I want to have sex with Minami." That password put you near the end of the game with plenty of health. The story was that the creator of Touch was so infuriated by this that he did not allow Touch to be used for any further video games. Personally, I doubt that story is true, but it's too good not to mention. City Adventure Touch is a strange one. It's technically competent, but the gameplay is so deeply flawed that it overwhelms everything else. I mean, why sell you food items that are used to restore exactly as much health as you paid to get them? At least if you're playing it outside of Japan, you probably won't have the same connection to the source material that makes you wonder how a romance story featuring baseball became this game.